Hey, what's up guys, MasterShiny here, back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about a pretty broad topic and kind of narrowing it down to different subjects. It's going to be the ultimate CSGO investing guide. It's going to be basically showing you all the ins and outs of basic investing. And what I did for this is I've labeled it into three main categories. First up being cases. Second up being consumables. I'll get into more of that when I go a little bit more in depth. And then last I have skins and knives and gloves. All of basically the things you're actually playing with in game. Alright, first up here I have cases. Now cases are the absolute easiest way to get into investing. It's so easy to do so. It's pretty almost thoughtless. You can just buy a case, leave it, and it's almost guaranteed you're going to make money over the long term depending on what case you choose. Now when we're talking about case investing, there's pretty much two groups in my eyes. There's the active rotation, cases that are still commonly being dropped, and then there's the cases out of active rotation. Now these cases in active rotation are usually the really cheap cases you see for 3, 4, 5 cents. We haven't seen 3-cent cases for a while, and I don't know if we'll ever see them again just because case investing has become so popular lately. But with that being said, there is still a lot of cases around 4 or 5 cents. So the main thing you're going to want to look for in case investing is how old the case is. Most of the cases that are 3 years old or older, basically 2017 or older, they're almost for sure going to make you money over the long term. And the thing is, this money varies a lot. We have cases like the Huntsman case who have been expensive for a while and still gradually go up. And then we have cases like the Breakout case, which have doubled their value in the past 8 months, which is absolutely insane for a case that is that expensive already. It was 50 cents then, now it's almost at $1. It's kind of slowed down its growth a pretty big bit here, but it is still a pretty expensive case overall. One very important thing to know about case investing is there will be ups and downs. That's pretty much guaranteed in every investment, but really in cases, just because the cases fluctuate so much in price based off the amount of players we have playing. I mean, you can look at any case and you'll see very big ups and downs depending on the hype gaining around that case. You also see it going up and down depending on other cases that come out. And one big example of that is the Shattered Web case. We've seen it go up and down, and then it's kind of took a pretty big fall as the Fracture case came out and is not yet recovered as much as I think it would, or as I would like it to be. But I'm not trying to give too much of my personal input here. This isn't an investing video where I'm going to tell you what to invest in. It's kind of just a broad video to give you an understanding of each investment. But one thing you're really going to want to look for is discontinued cases. And so right now we're looking at the Shattered Web case as potentially a discontinued case. And we can almost track its growth based off the Hydra case. Now the Hydra case was discontinued and it pretty much went up in price gradually since the operation. And it's had its ups and downs as well. It's on track right now. The Shattered Web case is on track to follow the Hydra case over a long period of time. The thing is, we don't know how long that is really going to be. That could be 7 more years and CSGO could not be a thing. That is the only risk that comes with case investing, is that this game could potentially die out. Now I don't see that happening in the next couple years, especially since the pandemic going on is still set to continue for a long while here. And once it goes away, I'm sure we will see a drop in player base. That's almost guaranteed. But with that being said, there's going to be a lot more in real life CSGO events that will help sustain a decent proportion of that player base. Going back to cases that are in the active drop pool though, these are a little more iffy on when you should invest in these. Now right now we're seeing Prisma cases and Prisma 2 cases right around 4 to 5 cents. And these are a little bit more iffy on when you should invest in these, or if you should invest in these, because it is only 4 cents. The nice thing about that is you won't really lose money. At bare minimum, it could go down to 3 cents. But I don't project that happening, but it is personally up to you on whether you should invest in these. I definitely recommend you look into each specific case before you buy a large quantity of these. And it all depends on what kind of skins are inside the case, such as the revolver case. This case has been out for 4 years, and it is one of the only cases that are exclusively bad to invest in as of right now. It's been out for 4 years and it's peaked at about 6 cents, and that's just due to the skins being so bad. It has the AK-47 point disarray as a pink, and that's pretty much the highlight of the case. The 2 red skins, one is the R8 Revolver Fade, the other is the M4 Royal Paladin. Neither are really respected as skins in my opinion. And the other 2 pinks are not very good either. It's got the P90 Shapewood, which is often clowned upon as why is this a pink skin? And the G3SG1, which a pink auto doesn't really have too much, hype around it. There is one thing with active rotation case investing I would like to mention, and that's investing on the contingency that this case will be moved out of the active rotation. And what I basically mean by that is you're investing hoping that this case will be pushed out by a brand new case coming in. And a lot of that is revolving around the clutch case right now, just because we could potentially see a new operation which would have a new operation case. And people are hoping that that operation case would go into the active drop pool and push out the clutch case. Now this is a pretty what if scenario, but the clutch case has proven to be pretty stable over time. It's got the M4 Neo-Nor and it's got some pretty decent pink skin, so it's not that bad of a case to invest in. It's also got gloves. But that's all I have for cases. Moving on into consumables. Alright, next up here we got consumables, and consumables are something that's one and done. It's going to be your capsules, your stickers, and investing in consumables is easy and hard to do at the same time. It's a pretty broad term because it's everything you use one and then you're done. Now there's super easy ways to invest, like every time a major comes out they have the 25-cent capsules. So far we have never seen a capsule not go above $1 even, so that's 4 times your money. But you could also invest in stickers and such, and sticker investing is really hard to do because the price varies a lot. Stickers don't have a fallback value because they were never really bought for anything. Most of the time your stickers are going to be unboxed from capsules, or just like the Shattered Web stickers, they were earned through the Battle Pass system. They never have a fallback value like capsules, which capsules had a fallback value of 25 cents, and it's very unlikely that we would see capsules fall under that value because people wouldn't want to sell them for more than, or sell them for less than what they bought them for. I think a great example of showing how these stickers don't have a fallback value is the Furia Hollow from Katowice 2019. Now these stickers look amazing, they look awesome, but they are not worth $100, and that's what they peaked at, roughly $90 to $100. And that's just because people don't know how much they're worth. I mean, they could be picked up by maybe 1,000 Chinese collectors came in and they all wanted to buy 5 each. They could wipe out the entire market, and now suddenly these stickers are worth $200, $300. But we just don't know. And that's really hard for sticker investing because you don't know if you're going to see a guaranteed long-term good investment. For that reason, personally, I'm not heavily invested in stickers because it's a really hard concept to get and to understand to make sure you are not going to lose money. I feel like there's a lot easier ways with CSGO investing to make sure you are going to be profitable, and it's just not worth the risk, in my opinion, to do that. Finally, to round out consumables here, I am going to talk about the premium pass for Shattered Web and operation passes in general. Now these are pretty much a pretty safe investment for what we've seen so far if you're able to buy them for the 40% off at the end. Now with the Shattered Web Pass, if you bought it originally, it would have cost you about $15 to $16 with taxes. And if you bought it afterwards when it was 40% off, it cost you around $9.60-ish. Now it's a lot easier to make back that money paying the $9.60. It's really hard if you buy it before the price drops to make back a lot of money on these. Now in the future this might change because we could see an influx of the amount of people buying into these. We could see people buying hundreds of these. And this is a very small market. This pass market's very small, and that's why it's so profitable, because there's not a lot of people in them. So you're able to charge a pretty decent price. I mean, if people bought hundreds of these, they'd still be at $10, $11 today, because people would be tripping over themselves to sell it for 1 cent less so they could gain $1. And if they have 200 of these, it doesn't really hurt them because they're still going to be getting $200. But if you only had a couple of these, it's going to hurt you because you're only gaining $3 now. Out of all the consumable markets, I think this one is the most risky if we could see a influx of people. All the other ones, like the capsules, we've seen them. Berlin 2019 was the highest amount of capsules purchased we've ever seen. And the capsules are not doing terrible as an investment. They're all over $1, which is 4 times the value that you bought them for. But with these premium passes and just these operation passes in general, we could definitely see a market crash. And I'm not saying that to scare you, I'm just saying that as a small chance that this could crash compared to the other markets where there's literally no chance unless the game dies. Finally here, we have investing in skins. Now skin investing is the hardest thing to do on this list just because there is so much you have to take into consideration. You have to take into consideration a lot of different things, such as trade up potential, how these skins are being used or utilized for trade ups. If these skins are commonly an input, that could be good for you, but at the same time, if these skins are commonly an output of a trade up, that may not be the best for you. You have to also take into consideration new skin potential. If you have an AWP and it looks really nice right now, but a new AWP is released with the same rarity and it just looks a bit better, you're now what's going to have an inferior good. You're not really going to want that. The majority of people aren't going to want that, and they would rather have the other op. So that's going to drive the price of your op down just because it doesn't look as good as the other op. You also then have to take into consideration how old this skin is. If it's an older skin, you might be looking a little bit better because there's not a ton new being unboxed. But if you're looking at a skin that's from a case, a lot of these could be unboxed, and that's going to drive the price down. Most skins that come from cases are not profitable for a long time, unless the case is discontinued. But they're not profitable for a long time because there's so many of these being unboxed that the price is just going to keep on going down because there's not enough new buyers into the scene compared to the just mass amounts of these cases being unboxed. There is some good side to investing in skins though, such as seasonal investing, which is going on pretty much right now. We're going to be investing in skins like Red Lines and maybe Op Asimov. Skins that the Op Asimov is a little more expensive, but you're going to be investing into skins that are pretty common and people are going to want to buy them over the Christmas season, as every winter we do see an influx of players just because people have a lot more time and they're spending a lot more time indoors. With this year, it's a little bit different because people have been spending time indoors already, but I think this is just going to almost add together and we're going to see a lot of new players. To go along with seasonal investing, there's also operational investing. And this one is something that we saw Shattered Web, and that was the main comeback of this. This kind of investing died with Hydra until it was revived with Shattered Web. After Hydra, people kind of, when we didn't get an operation about a year later, people kind of thought that this could be the end of operations. And especially with Shattered Web, but there's been a lot of operation hype, and this kind of investing could become very popular. But this investing is basically going to be two different things. First up here, this is going to be buying into skins that are already a decent investment for just a discount. Last time, skins dropped potentially almost 20% when Operation Shattered Web came out. And that was a super quick time to buy into the buy into these skins without having to overpay a lot. This only lasted for about a day or two though, as people started to pick up all these skins because they were super underpriced. But there is also another way of operational investing, and that's through trade-up skins. Investing in these trade-up skins when they're low at 50-60 cents. Specifically, the Italy collection and such, these skins peaked at almost $1.50 each during the Operation Shattered Web. These skins almost doubled to tripled their value from just a couple months before because these are perfect trade-up skins. These skins have a pretty low float, they're easy to obtain, and they have one outcome, and that's the biggest thing because trade-ups are determined by the amount of outcomes rather than the amount of inputs. Even though you may only have one input for a certain skin or a certain collection, you could potentially get up to a 25% chance to get an output from that collection just based off how CSGO does its math. These skins could potentially be a very lucrative investment if you're trying to get some profit but don't know exactly what to invest in. I'm definitely going to grab some of these if we do see a new operation. The only thing about this though is if the price gets up so high because of people investing in these thinking that the price is going to go even higher, these skins do have a limit because even though there is only one purple outcome in this collection, there is other collections that do have still only one purple outcome. There's a couple different collections and there is a max price point for these. Now we don't really know what that is, but there still is one, and it's just something to keep in mind when you're investing in these. But that is all I have for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was a little bit of a longer video. A lot of time went into this. That's why this wasn't uploaded yesterday, but thank you guys so much for watching. The Discord is going to be the top link in the description. If you're not already subscribed, it's free and it helps out the channel a lot. Drop a like on the video if you liked it, and leave me a comment down below on anything you want to see in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.